I'm Holly Heiser. I know a lot of people like to breast out their doves, but personally I think there's way more meat worth eating on those birds than just the breasts. So what I like to do is pluck them and then gut them, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do on this video. When I get to the end, there will be a web address you can go to find recipes for all your beautiful little whole birds. Enjoy! So to get started, what you need is a pair of kitchen shears, and what's important about kitchen shears is this notch right here. We'll be using that several times today. So we have a mourning dove here in good shape, and I usually start by plucking the tail feathers. Doesn't take much force, just take out a few of them there. Then we move to the wings. I generally pluck out to that last joint there because that's about where the meat stops. If you've shot up the bird and there's a lot of holes in the wing, it's probably going to be a lot of bone chips, so just cut that segment out. Pluck the underside. Make sure you dig into the pits there. This applies to both the legs and the wings. There's always a few feathers stuck in there. No big deal. This joint is where you want to trim it, and this is where you use that notch in those shears. See, that's where I was cutting right there. Then I move to the back. The back isn't too hard to pluck. The skin does tear kind of easily, but there's really not much meat on the back, so, and that's usually not the side you show to your diners, so it's no big deal if it's a bit torn up. After that, I move to the breasts. They pluck very easily. However, if there is a shot hole in the breast, that's where the skin will tend to tear, so be careful there. I pluck up the neck a little bit farther than I need to go, and then I cut right about here. Now that's more neck than you want to leave on the bird, but we'll get to that later. So just keep plucking. When you move to the legs, when you get down to the bottom of the feathers, you just sort of need to pinch and rub a little bit to get those feathers off. They come off pretty easily. Now, right here is where I'm going to cut it off, and so you don't need to worry about the feathers at the end, no big deal. Now you do want to cut off the feet, so I like to cut right at the joint there. Again, use that notch part of your scissors. If you have kitties and you love them, they will love you forever if you save these bits for them. So just pick the few pieces of feathers remaining off of there, and then you're basically ready to proceed to the next step. So here's that bird, and we want to trim off that piece of neck. Also, this is the crop underneath the skin here. If you see seeds there, just wash them out. So just trim with the tip of your scissors there. This is where we're going to cut. And sometimes it makes really gross noises. Sorry about that. Rinse off your scissors. Yeah, that's guts on your scissors, so you might as well rinse it off. And then with one finger, reach in, and sometimes with one finger you can get out almost everything. And I did in this case. So that's the heart right there. I love heart, and even a dove heart is worth saving to me. Same thing with gizzards. There's your gizzard. So for the heart, to clean it up, you just want to trim off the cap there. Lots of stuff sticking out. I usually trim it at that fat line right there. All you're doing is tidying it up. This is just about how it looks. Now with the gizzard, cut off the bits of intestines going off to the side there. And there's a line here you can see between the entrance and the exit. Cut there. You will feel yourself cutting through grit. And the grit is actually rocks and seeds. They use rocks to digest their seeds. So you just wipe them out. You can rinse it if you want to, but you don't need to because we're going to be getting rid of that grinder plate there. So to do that, what you do is turn it over, and then you run your knife across the top of the grinder plate. It will find the edge really easily. And then toss that thing. And then just trim off any stuff at the edges. Same for this one. Now we're ready for the final cleanup. So pluck off those last few remaining feathers and then run it underwater. Run water through the body cavity. There's usually a lot of clotted blood in there. And then run it through the top. That's the crop there. If there are any seeds, you'd like to wash them out. I let it drip dry a little bit and then set it off to the side. And when I'm done with all my birds, I put a paper towel in a container. I pat dry the birds on the outside, and then I set them down in this container butt side down so that they drain. Usually leave them in the fridge for about a day so they tighten up and dry out a little bit. And here they are, they're ready to go for you. So if you're looking for things to do with these doves now, go to honest-food.net. Look under the game recipes. There's a section for pigeons and doves, and it has a lot of fantastic ideas and explanations for what to do with your whole doves. I promise you won't regret it.